Hello everyone. Bit of an update then. I haven't been putting much out on YouTube of late. Haven't been doing a great amount of painting either, but I have managed to finish a couple of things, so I thought I'd show them to you and at the same time update you a little bit on my channel. So in front of you at the moment is a box of Perry plastic 28mm Zulus that I've completed. I was looking and it was over a year ago that I put up another video showing you some Perry plastics that I'd painted just after they were released, and I was really pleased with them. I thought that they're a great set of figures, and I thought at the time that it had completed my Zulu army, but when I packed them away I discovered that in fact I still had to paint another two bases of married Zulus. So I was grateful for the excuse to get another box because I like them so much, and I painted these two stands as married Zulus and the rest of them mainly as unmarried, because the unmarried Zulus that I have at the moment, a lot of them are holding rifles and muskets, and even some of them are wearing British redcoats, so it ties them in far too much to the 1879 Anglo-Zulu War, and I would rather have them looking far more generic, so that I can use them in other conflicts against the Boers and intertribal kind of conflicts and that kind of thing. So the Perry box is very good at giving you lots of options, unlike the Warlord box or boxes, because Warlord have a specific box for married and another box for unmarried, and the number of figure poses is greater with the Perrys, and the number of options of types of weaponry they're holding and so on. So in a lot of respects I much prefer the Perry plastics, and I may well paint more in the future, even though I've now completed my army, but anyway, that's in the future. And in the Perry box you also get a sprue which is of four casualty figures. So there are these four figures here, two like that and two lying recumbent. So I've got plenty of stands, but they can always be added to the casualty stands that I've got already. And you also get four figures that are meant to be firing muskets, but as you can see it is possible to kind of give them other weaponry. So I've made two more command stands. The standing figure I've given a kind of feathered headdress to make him look a little bit more senior, and then the kneeling figure that's supposed to be kneeling firing a musket. As you can see, it's possible to give them a kind of shield and weapon, and I've got them kind of crouching beside their commander. So as you can see, the Perry box is very kind of versatile in that respect. And then these are the two stands of married warriors that I required. what have we got here? 6 stands of unmarried Zulus. So cheated a little bit with these because there aren't quite enough figures for 6 stands, so 2 of the stands only have 3 figures on them, but it kind of helps to break the formation up and give it a little bit more of a kind of an irregular appearance. Right, so anyway, as you're looking at those, I'll just tell you a little bit about what's going on my channel. As I say, and as you probably noticed, I haven't been putting many videos up of late, and haven't been commenting so much on other people's videos and so on. Since last August, as I've mentioned on other videos, I've been going through a little bit of a difficult time in terms of private family affairs, and it's been a very kind of difficult time, and finally sort of got to me in December and began to affect my own health, and had to sort of seek help really. It got so bad, but for a while I kind of lost interest in just about everything. Didn't have the kind of energy or spirit to get interested in any hobbies or anything, and I mean that's wargaming and painting figures, but also YouTube as a hobby. So I went a bit kind of quiet over the sort of December, Christmas period and New Year period in particular. And as I say, YouTube as a kind of hobby, unfortunately there's been a few kind of changes on YouTube. I've always been a little bit unhappy with it. I found it a bit kind of unsatisfactory. It's never allowed me to kind of express my interests in the way I want. I mean, one example of that is that I prefer to make longer videos, and there's a case for making long videos, especially for the kind of wargaming fraternity. But my channel isn't entirely about wargaming. But for the wargaming fraternity, longer videos can be used as a sort of background video when you're painting figures and so on. But they don't tend to get kind of viewed. YouTube is a very kind of pick up and put down quickly kind of medium. The general kind of the sort of the general kind of population of viewers tend to kind of be interested in short or 2-3 minute things that they can watch on the bus or as they're walking along, the street on their smartphones or whatever. And that's not my world. I'm probably a little bit too kind of aged, I think, for the medium. The other thing it's really unsuited for is if you make a series of videos that have a kind of order to them, because it's very difficult for a viewer to find the order in which the videos have been put out. Less so than Facebook, but YouTube is a very kind of frothy platform that throws contemporary videos up to the forefront, and it's very hard to kind of look at something in terms of a kind of an archive, and that's even stranger to me. Because I've been away from home quite a lot. I've been taking my iPad with me and watching YouTube on the iPad, And it's even more apparent when you watch it on that kind of thing, like a tablet or a smartphone, than it is if you watch on a PC or a laptop. When I watch YouTube on my laptop, I notice, and I noticed this with my own channel. So I thought I hadn't realised there was a problem with a lot of people watching my channel, but now I realise there is. That it's the sort of current stuff that gets put to the front, and it's very hard to kind of delve into the kind of historic material that we all have on our channels. And the ridiculous thing is that it's not very obvious either that you've organised your channel into playlists, which to me is kind of crucial. That you separate out videos and put them into categorised playlists. So, for instance, I've got a playlist on Dartmoor, specifically on Dartmoor, but I'm constantly being asked when I put the videos up, where is that place that you've just filmed? You know, whereabouts in the UK is it? And I realise now it's because people don't see, when they're looking at it on Apple devices and so on, they're not, or smartphones, they're not seeing the kind of structure that you've tried to give to your channel. So I'm quite unhappy with YouTube for that thing. But the worst thing that's happened only recently, I think at the beginning of January, is that there was an issue on Facebook where they had decided that the obsession with likes and dislikes had got to the point where it was becoming almost an issue with people's mental health. So what YouTube have done, bizarrely, is that they've still got the system of likes and dislikes, and that's always been an issue with people, because very often a video will get a dislike and there'll be no clear kind of description of why the video is disliked. But now they've left the system of likes and dislikes, but they've removed from people's channels the liked playlist. So even if you have, in the past you could decline to show or present your likes to the outside world, which is fine. But I used to find that if there was a channel that I liked, I would look at the videos that in their liked playlist, in the hope of finding other videos that I would have an interest in as well. And in particular, one of the reasons I used to like other people's videos is in order to kind of promote it to other people who had similar tastes to myself. And that's gone now. And because my channel, isn't specifically wargaming related, so a lot of people who watch my channel don't have any interest in wargaming, and the YouTube wargaming fraternity is quite well known to one another, but other things, other subjects may not be. It's very hard for me now to kind of spread my general kind of spectrum of interest to the outside world, and to me that has diminished my interest in YouTube in general, which is another reason really why I haven't been putting not the main one, but another reason why I haven't been putting up a lot of videos. So anyway, hopefully as the new year progresses, I'll pick up my spirits will pick up a little bit, and I'll get back into doing a little bit more painting of figures and so on, and be able to show you some other things. But anyway, that's been what's going on. So as well as these Zulus, I've also finished another little bit of terrain stroke scenery, and I'll just turn the video off for a second, put that in front of the camera and show you that. Right, so these are again, they have an African theme. They are from Warlord Games, and they are 2 sets of termite hills. I don't know why, but in the Gates of Antares game, they have got some scenic items which represent termite hills. So they've got a kind of sci-fi background, but they're perfectly suitable for termite hills in Africa. So I noticed these some time ago, and thought they would make very good kind of terrain items for the game of Congo, when the scenarios are set in the savannah rather than in the jungle. And I haven't got much savannah terrain, so I thought I'd pick them up and acquire them. And as I say, there are 2 sets here. Now, what is odd, and I'm not complaining, because it will come in very useful, but what is odd is that, so I forget how many there are, there's about 6 or 7 hills of various sizes in each set. So I've got 2 sets. So for each set, they give you the bases, which come from Sarissa, and it's a little bit too big to get in front of the camera, but that is one base which is not specifically meant to be used in conjunction with these termite hills, but it's a scenic base triple pack. As you can see, I haven't taken this one out of its cellophane wrap, because in each pack, so with each 6 or 7 hills, you get 3 sheets, each with kind of 3 bases on. So in other words, I was sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18 different sizes of these bases, and I've only used 3 on 2 sets, so I've got lots of bases out of it. And on top of that, because the hills are on round bases already that fit into the base itself, you're left with lots of these round MDF circles that are ideal for basing other figures. So there's a whole plethora of those as well. So as I say, a bit of overkill. I'm not complaining, but it seems an unnecessary expense to me. Why Warlord don't just arrange with Sarissa to do a kind of purpose-built bit of MDF terrain to use with these termite hills. But anyway, there we go. So I'm quite pleased with those. Let's give you an idea of the scale. There's one of those Zulu bases again, so you can see the sort of size of the hills. And that is my update. Not particularly happy times at the moment, but hopefully 2020 will turn the corner. I've got a holiday coming up soon anyway, which you may know about if you've been watching my videos, so that will kind of give me an opportunity to see up another part of the world, and maybe bring some interesting videos back to put up on my channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.